What's happening, YouTube? It's your homie S.Cool and coming back to you with another video. And in today's video is the round 3 feature match. Kyle Gant and his Aerialbots versus RJ and his cars. The only change with the car list is, or with the characters anyway, is B from Wave 2. And before I really get into it, I just would like to say I apologize for the difference in audio. My microphone that I had, my Blue Snowball, the cord broke, and I need to hopefully get it replaced. Otherwise, I'll have to purchase a whole new microphone. But if you guys could help me out, if you don't mind my voice on, my voiceover on, this match, please let me know. Because if y'all don't mind, I might not even bother getting another one. But then at the same time, I invested, I think it was like $60 in it. So I still possibly want to get another cord. But if it's not that bad and you guys can still understand and hear me well, please let me know in the comments down below if you like it or didn't like it. And I do apologize for that, but I do have to get a new cord. All right, so with that, RJ looks like he started the game. He lost the die roll, so Kyle decided for RJ to go first. And he flips B and attacks into Fireflight because Fireflight's brave and you must attack into a brave character if you're able to, which he was because all his Aerialbots were untapped. And also, I do apologize for having 2 Aerialbot matches in a row. I promise the other matches that I have to post will be of a variety of different matches and players. Thing is, I thought Kyle was playing, revealing the enigma there, no big deal. I thought Kyle was playing Metroplex. I didn't see what he was playing in round 1, and I kind of just assumed, bad assumption on my part, but I just assumed that he was playing Metroplex again because he did well with it at the last case tournament that was held at Top Deck Games. But anyway, okay, so it looks like he's attacking with Skydive into Bumblebee for 5 Pierce 4 with the bigger they are. He only gets 1 action or 1 upgrade this turn, being that it's his first turn, and he decides not to get the Noble's Blaster. So he's pretty happy with his hand. So this is a pretty important turn for RJ. His next 2 turns are pretty important. He needs untap effects. If he has untap effects, he'll be able to disregard the fact that 3 of his attacks will be initially wasted. 1 into Fireflight at the beginning, 1 into Skydive, and then if he taps the Fireflight, he has to go attack the Fireflight again. So his other 3 characters are unharmed. So if he doesn't have any untap effects like turbo boosters or start your engines or ready for action, then this could I don't want to say necessarily be bad for RJ, but definitely not valuable attacks on his part. So Erratic Lighting, put on Prowl in all mode, which will trigger Wheeljack because he is also in all mode to draw a card and discard a card. So helps you run through your deck and get the cards that you need, or closer to the cards you need. So he actually pitches one of his untapped cards, what I was just talking about. So clearly he's very happy with his hand. So we'll see what happens here. He flips Prowl and attacks with it. That's a 6/9 attack. And the very tough Skydive flips a lot, but not a lot of blue. So 4 defense to his 9 attack. Looks like he takes 5. Yep. Willing to bet he'll get that sparring gear here. RJ flipped no greens on his attack, so he's not going to, of course, get anything. Yeah, he does get it. Trades Enigma. I'm pretty sure he plays 2 more, so he traded an Enigma for the sparring gear because he knows he has 2 more, and he's not combining for the next 4 turns at least, minimum. So the Prowl has 1 damage on it. Earlier, he did flip the Silverbolt to deal 1 damage to the Prowl. Interesting that he didn't choose Wheeljack, so we'll see his reasoning behind it throughout the game as the game progresses. If you hear any type of air in the background, it's just my computer. This is all the microphone from the laptop, and that's just the air vent from the laptop that you hear. There's no way for me to shut that out. Maybe there is. I might try to figure that out. But all right, so flips Alpha Bravo. So if he doesn't attack with Fireflight this turn, he's probably still trying to wait for a Field Communicator or Infernal Breath or Pep Talk to try to draw into Infernal Breath still. All right, he decides to put sparring gear on Skydive. Now, that's very interesting that he's doing that. The fact that the Skydive only has 3 health left, it seems like he's really trying to get his opponent not to attack it because, Skydive with tough 4, he could possibly survive another attack. But I don't even know if Wheeljack would necessarily go into the Skydive anyway. So I guess he's definitely, there's an Infernal Breath. He's really trying to shy him away, RJ away from attacking into the skydive with tough 4. So he decides to use Silverbolt to attack into the Prowl. Prowl had 1 less defense from the erratic gliding, but then he got 1 extra defense from the starter engines. So it puts the Prowl at 4 damage. RJ's about to OTK this turn. I feel it. Checking for our weapons. It looks like Wheeljack is definitely going in this turn. You know, looking back and looking at this match, Kyle won the roll. And from what I talked about in my report, Kyle won the roll and he had a chance to go first, but he chose to go second. And I wish I would have talked to one of them, or even especially Kyle, before, I was kind of so nonchalant throughout the day. I wish I would have got some information and realized that I don't want to say I didn't take cars seriously, but I didn't necessarily really think about the matchup in the way that I should be going second. And of course, there's other matchups where I should be going second too, especially if they're playing 3-wide. But just looking back, it's like, man, definitely learned my lesson from my matches. But the fact that what I was really getting at is the fact that RJ threw away Turbo Booster. I think he learned from that he shouldn't throw it away and that he should utilize all his untap effects as much as possible, because like I said, having attack in the Firefly and then attacking the Skydive, is 2 wasted attacks. So if he can get his untap effects, he's not necessarily, he's getting those extra attacks. And I think he learned that from this matchup in round 2, which helped him in round 5 against me and then also against me again in the finals. All right, Kyle draws for turn. So now he gets 3 attacks, and I'm going to assume they're all going to go into Wheeljack, get as much damage on it as possible. He may or may not, he probably won't be able to get enough damage on it to put it in range for Superion to kill it, but at least he can put enough damage on it so that when Superion does finally attack it inevitably, he'll only have to most likely attack it once. So that's a good start. Arm Hovercraft on Air Raid, dealing 1 damage to everyone. As I'm recording this, I am watching Game 5 of the NBA Finals, and I am going for the Warriors. So if you're not, it's like, no, I'm joking. But let me know in the comments also down below who you're going for if you do watch basketball. Kevin Durant just got hurt in the first half, so that kind of sucks, but it's all good. All right, so he goes in on the Prowl and kills the Prowl. To at least guarantee. So the Prowl next turn can't, because next turn RJ would have a very powerful Start Your Engines play if he didn't kill the Prowl. So Kyle's aware of that and got rid of it. Alpha Bravo goes in for 2 attack, Pierce 3, but of course he's only going to take 2 because you can only have as much Pierce as high as your attack, or equal to your attack rather. Trades Sparring Gear for the Enigma, so his other card in his hand must be solid enough. RJ decides not to get the Bashing Shield, and the Firefly attacks, probably attacking Wheeljack, but probably not going to do anything. Oh, well, he pointed at B, so I'm assuming he attacked B, but either way, it didn't matter. But here now, RJ's in a position where he has to attack the Firefly again, so Superion's getting pretty close to coming out, so he has 2 more turns, Kyle does, for flips. So RJ's going to have to do some serious damage here soon to put, Superion in range of being KO'd. And I don't think he's playing any espionages, so he's not going to interrupt Kyle at all for his combine. And he decided not to get that Bastion Shield last turn too, so I'm assuming that he already has one in his hand. But he decides to press over extremely hard over, well, not extremely hard, but press over the Firefly and try to KO it this turn. So his upgrade for the turn is Bumblebee. His upgrade for the turn is Grenade Launcher on Bumblebee. And Zap. So Zap the Firefly to put it even closer to being KO'd to ensure that he gets rid of it. Looks like he probably will this turn. So attacking for, what's that, 12? 12 to his 4, he takes 8. Yeah, Firefly's gone. So probably could have used that Zap on someone else because I didn't even realize the Firefly already had 2 damage on it. If the Firefly was fully undamaged, I could possibly see that. But I'm just saying, me personally, I would have put it on someone else because I would be kind of confident that B would, get there. But Either way, the Firefly's definitely gone now. So now Wheeljack can go after. Excuse me. Wheeljack has to go after whoever he sends in this turn. So for Kyle, he got rid of a spar. He let one of his sparring gears go earlier, which means I'm sure he only plays two. So being that his deck is still pretty hefty, he's not going to get to that sparring gear anytime soon. Through until he reshuffles. So he has the Enigma. He plays Piercing Blaster on Alpha Bravo. Now Piercing Blaster doesn't give a. Okay, but he does send it in anyway. Okay, he sends the damage skydive in. So even if the skydive gets KO'd, the most damage he's putting on the inevitable Superion is 3 because the skydive has 5 damage left on it. But even then, you know what? The skydive might survive the attack. I mean, we're talking about against Wheeljack here, so we'll see if RJ can boost the Wheeljack up high enough to run over the skydive, because if he doesn't, then Superion comes out next turn with the sparring gear and with at least over 12 health, looks like 10 health. Yeah, no, a little bit more than that. 14, 15 health or so. So this Wheeljack definitely needs to kill skydive this turn, because if RJ is aware, he realized then, unless Kyle has a reinforced plating in his hand. It's just something I was aware of earlier. I saw he didn't get his second sparring gear. So if he can get rid of the skydive this turn, he's going to be hurting for an armor, unless he already has, reinforced plating in hand. Or he plays 3 sparring gear. I didn't see his list after the event, so I can't sit here and say for sure that he's not playing 3, but I'm going to assume he's playing 2. So he untaps with, he flips B, and I'm assuming he's not using the action, because you have to use the action effect before you play the turbo boosters. So he's just going to flip, play the supercharge. So he's a 5 bold 3 attacking into the skydive. So he's not willing to send Wheeljack out there, but he's flipping pretty good here, as is Kyle. So far, Kyle has one more flip. And it looks like the B is at 10. 4 attack with the turbo boosters makes 5, and then 5 orange icons. So 10 attack, and then 3, 6, 7 for the skydive. So if he flips one more blue, he will live. And he does. In that fact, he flips 2 blues. So he survives, which will keep the sparring gear on it. With our powers combined, we are superior. Or maybe not. I can't see his KO area, so I feel like, well, he did go second, so it'll take a little longer to combine. But I feel like this turn he's ready to combine. Flip skydive. Now when Superion does come out, looks if he is playing the Enigma. Oh no, okay, so he had one more flip. Okay. So one more flip, air raid with 7 attack, pierce 4 looks like he's definitely going to KO the Bumblebee. All right, so RJ's goal this turn is to put as much damage on a character when for the inevitable Superior next turn. So ideally, it would be smart for him to attack the air raid. He'll most likely definitely kill the air raid, I'm sure, with some attack boosters. So confidence starts off, draws 2, discard 2, and since he started the game with all Autobots, he's able to activate another action. So it looks like he discards Peace Through Tyranny, and did he discard 2 at once, or? Okay, discards Peace Through Tyranny and Turbo Boosters. All right, so no extra action at all either. So, okay. So he attacks with Bull 3. Looks like he's attacking for 10. Air Raid needs to flip a double blue and a blue in order to live at least by 1. Or flip, white and extend into at least 3 defense to survive the attack. in order to carry the arm hovercraft over, but I'm sure he'll keep the Piercing Blaster over the arm hovercraft anyway because the Superion will have 6 Pierce 6 now. Looks like he traded reinforced plating for Noble's Blaster, and this is definitely a combining turn. Gotta be. Like I said, I can't tell because the his scrap pile is off camera. All right, there we go. The Enigma, so put 3 on the Wheeljack. Counting up damage here, looks like Alpha Bravo, I think, has 8 health. 7 health. 7 health and 1, 8, 9. Looks like Superion has 9 health total left. 9 or 10, one of the two, because I think Superion does gain 1. And here we go, transforming. All right, already dealt the 3 to the Wheeljack. And actually trades the Noble Blaster for sparring gear here. And because this is not, he's not versing or playing against a blue heavy deck, the 8 attack is more valuable than the 6 Pierce 6. Yep, and sure enough, he takes 7 here instead of 6. So this is his do or die turn. So I think the Superion is actually at only, like I said, 9 or 10 health. So if he has a strong action and upgrade this turn, he might be able to overcome. But then looking at it again, I take that back. Okay, well, he's flipping to his weaker mode. So, okay, no, he's not. But yeah, tough 4 is pretty hard. Okay, well, never mind. Tough 2. And if he had like, supercharge or something, he might really, he might get there, but we'll see. I mean, he still might get there. Bull 3. So pretty nice flip. 9, 10, 11 to his 4. He takes 7. Oh, he just misses his Superion's at 2 health, I think. 2 or 3 health. Like I said, I can't tell exactly what the health is because it's off screen, but very close. And then next turn, of course, Superion just attack. He has a massive 8 attack with Pierce 3, and the Pierce 3 alone will KO the Wheeljack, moving us to game 2. So that was a close game 1. If RJ would have had Supercharge or I don't think he plays Reckless Charge, but if he would have had Supercharge or Press the Advantage, he would have won that game. So it's unfortunate he only had 1 action or upgrade. Or excuse me, only 1 move, which was to play just an upgrade. The Bash and Show was a good start, but so yeah, reiterating again, like I said, I think RJ definitely learned from this match. This was only round 2, and when he played against me in round 5, he caught on and kept his untapped effects to mitigate the fact that he has to attack in the Fireflight and then Skydive because he can just untap the same bot and send it in again and still has his other 2 attacks. And I wish I could say the same and that I learned my lesson and should have went second in the finals, but. And I'm just reiterating all this not to, sob about me losing. Shout out to RJ, great guy. I'm glad he won. Real good, dude. He deserves it. But I say that to just point that out for you as an Aerialbot player if you plan on going to Origins or any other big tournaments coming up, to be aware of that. All right, so out the gate, Skydive's attacking for 4 onto the Prowl. So he's switching up here. Trades Vaporize, not that good in this matchup for sparring gear. But yeah, like I said, I'm pointing this out for like I said, you Aerialbot players, you car players, for you guys to learn on both sides what you should do against said matchup or on both sides of the table. So okay, Matrix leadership on Bumblebee, and he is a leader, so he will give that static +1 attack to every other bot. And so he uses Wheeljack to draw a card and discard a card, and then attacks with the Bumblebee and discards a card and draws 2. And hits for a pretty nice attack. So he's looks like 10 attack on the skydive, putting 4 damage on the skydive. Grabs Noble Blaster. One thing that's not so good about Matrix of Leadership, especially if it's a orange deck, is the fact that Air Raid just simply gets rid of it, because the card is good, Matrix of Leadership, if it sticks, because you at least get 1 in, and just that spread of 1, it's like +3 in a sense, but 1 on every bot, plus the Pierce 1 is very valuable against a blue deck. And the fact that Air Raid can just simply get rid of it is unfortunate. But in another blue deck, if you had Matrix leadership, like if you put Matrix on Optimus Prime in a blue heavy deck, it could possibly survive even longer. But yep, exactly what I was talking about here. So Air Raid 6, Pierce 4, definitely getting in there for at least 4. It looks like he's going to get there for 5 because he flipped RJ flipped no blue and scraps the Matrix of leadership, so he doesn't get any future value out of it. But yeah, again, if he was playing against another blue heavy deck, like I said, Optimus, the either double prime or the 3 wide prime or whatever, that, well, I'd say that back. I guess bigger they are still gets there no matter what. If the character's over 5 stars, but so technically that would be his only out to Optimus with Matrix of Leadership on it or whoever. So Bashing Shield, get the sparring gear out of there. Cycle through his deck with Wheeljack, such a great card, especially for a 9-drop. And staying in all mode, if you notice, the Wheeljack almost never flips until he's absolutely ready to attack. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. He's doing that, so at least a card like Marksmanship is not completely dead because he can still get B or Prowl when he flips, but the Wheeljack is his strongest character, and he wants to try to keep him alive as long as possible. RJ thinking here. Decides to flip Prowl. And send Prowl into, looks like Air Raid for 7. Defense for 3, so you take 4. Air Raid, 4 damage on it. So total on all of his Aerialbots, Kyle's Aerialbots, he has 8 damage in total. All right, sparring gear on Fireflight, flip Alpha Bravo. And now he's he's attacking with Fireflight here, especially he would like to wait for Infernal Breath, but he can't wait forever. So he's attacking with the Fireflight for a useless attack, but what's more important is Wheeljack has to attack into the Fireflight, and the Fireflight might survive the attack with the sparring gear. So if RJ doesn't have another Bashing Shield, Wheeljack will get a sizable attack, but even if the Fireflight survives with 1 health, after RJ finishes his next 2 attacks, everybody stands, and then RJ has to swing into the Fireflight again. So even if Fireflight had 6 damage counters on it and he takes the 1 to KO the Fireflight, Kyle is fine with that because overall that's less damage that Superion, is taking overall. But here we go. He has Bashing Shield anyway to get rid of the Fireflight's sparring gear. So if he has a decent action here, he might be able to get rid of the Fireflight in 1 shot. He might KO the Fireflight regardless with Wheeljack's Bolt 3 and 5 attack. All right. Okay, so he flips and then he plays Confidence. So let's see what he gets. Future planning here, discard 2 cards and then activate another action if he so pleases. It's not mandatory, so. Plays Zap on the Fireflight, put it closer to being KO'd, and then attacks the Fireflight. He does have a weapon, so he'll definitely get Bolt 3. And flip 2 blues on the defense. 3 technically, but so 2 full blues. So he only has 8. And the Fireflight, yeah, he flips pretty solid on his defense. At least 2 blues to survive the attack. Not good for RJ there, unfortunately. So Kyle gets 2 attacks here. Might possibly pile up on Wheeljack, might pile up on the Prowl and try to KO the Prowl. But from RJ's standpoint, when sideboarding is officially being used, I could see a card like One Shall Stand, One Shall Fall being side decked against multiple matchups, but especially like in this matchup, because this is a perfect example of why One Shall Stand is so good. Because when everybody stands back up, he can one shot the Firefly and then go after any of his other bots, Kyle's other bots. So Noble's Blaster on on Alpha Bravo gives him 4 attack with Pierce 3. It would be 4 Pierce 4 if he was attacking against the Decepticon, but it's not the case. And then he attacks with the Silver Bolt as well. And 2 looks like the Prowl for only 3 attack, and of course the Prowl has 3 defense. I'm assuming he attacked to the Prowl because he didn't put any more damage out there. So this turn is going to be tough for RJ because he has to attack into the Fireflight, so he doesn't want to go too hard into it, but he attacks with Bolt 2. And yeah, everybody stood and he has to attack the Fireflight. And he has 2, 4, 6, 9 attack, and Fireflight has 3 defense. So he should take 6 and be KO'd. Trace with the Enigma, Kyle does. And right here, don't know why the Fireflight's not going to the KO area, but we're going to assume that, that damage is at 7 and the Fireflight's KO'd. Cal must got really excited right here. I know I've talked about it before, but again, I apologize for the audio. I know it's not as good and as clear as with my blue snowball, but I will try to get a new cord for that as soon as possible to get back to that better audio. But for now, this is going to have to do. I did think about not doing commentary over these for now until I get the new cord, or if I can find a new one. But all right, so Superion comes out, deals 3 damage to the Prowl, so at least he got some value out of the Prowl. But either way, Superion's still going to be able to swing at whoever he likes here. And can't tell who he's swinging into, but it's a good start for RJ on his defense as he flipped a blue. Getting a good shuffle here. All right. So 2 defense, 8 attack, takes 6. B has a lot of health, man. 14 attack with an effect like his. Very solid card. 10 stars. Help you get through your deck. Play another action. Very good card. Oh, flips B, but then decides not to flip the B. Okay. Grenade launcher. And looks like he gets 2 attacks here, yeah. Everybody stood and he attacked with the Prowl, killed the Prowl. Yeah, he gets 2 attacks here. So, okay, switches the grenade to B. Ooh, flips very well right there. And Kyle also flips well. 2 double orange, 2 double blues. You can kind of cancel those out. But that's 14 coming at B, and Superion has a lot more cards to flip. At least 3, 5 total with a white icon, which he has a very high chance of flipping because I think the deck plays 3 field communicator and 3 security console out the gate. So that's 6 whites, and with a fresh deck, very possible. Yep. Oh, he also he plays, what's that, surprise attack looks like. So 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Is that 11? It's 11. Jeez. Very strong flip for both of them, but Superion's was more beneficial. Looks like he only took 2 damage from that. And Superion has a lot of health too. I saw that the Firefly was KO, so that's 7, and then 4 from the air raid. So the Superion only had 11 damage on it. So you can see just by, I mean, that, okay, 5 defense here. Wheeljack's attacking looks like for 10 or 11. So I think that Superion is still under 20 damage. So he's going to probably kill B this next turn. Not that he necessarily has to, because he could probably possibly attack the Wheeljack, and then he'll get 2 attacks on him again, and then have to attack the Wheeljack another turn in order to kill it, and then it'll be B versus Wheeljack, or B versus Superion, which is better than Wheeljack versus Superion. But it might just be a safer bet to attack the B here and KO it. I will say, just looking at the field now, if Kyle uses Superion to attack into the B, the Wheeljack gets to attack into Superion. That's 1 attack. Then they both stand. Superion attacks the Wheeljack. Most likely won't kill it, and then the Wheeljack gets to attack the Superion again. So, or he could attack Wheeljack here, but then he gets 2 attacks on him on a Superion. But then again, at the same time, on top of that, Superion has tough 4 right now. So unless RJ finds that other Bastion Shield, Superion's sitting really nice right now. So he attacks with Bowl 1, and he should be flipping 2 more whites, and doesn't look like they're going to catch it. Nope, unfortunately. Oh, no, okay, he does catch it. Okay, flips another orange. Nice. So 11 attack, Pierce 3 coming at the Bumblebee. Bumblebee only has 11 health, so Pierce 3 will get it no matter what. RJ needs a Bastion Shield and a strong action here to follow up and try to get as much damage on the Superion as possible. Okay, nope, doesn't even have. He has turbo boosters and goes in for an attack. 6 bolt 3. Flip pretty solid. Orange on every flip, but Superion's flipping a lot more, or a couple. Well, 1 more really, but so I think it looks like he only takes 1, and that's not gonna do it, unfortunately. So now Kyle, as the car player, is on a clock here. It's okay, RJ. Kyle cheated. We all know he cheated. It's like, no, I'm joking, RJ. 2 great guys battling it out with what I would call a relevant matchup in the format. 9 attack, Pierce 3, or not, excuse me, 9 Pierce 5, actually. That Energon X definitely gives some Pierce. So looks like Wheeljack's do or die turn is this turn. He has to get the KO here. Looking highly unlikely, though, unfortunately. And with RJ's hand gestures, it looked like he's not getting the card that he wants. Best he could probably do here is like grenade launcher, press the advantage, because I don't think he plays reckless charge. I didn't see one all game. Start your engines. Not really doing much. Okay, plays turbo boosters, draw cards, pitch a card. I guess he's looking for at least a grenade launcher here. But as you can see, he's definitely not going to be able to get there, unfortunately. He's going to flip Wheeljack, and he does have 6 attack, bold 3, but Superion with tough 4 is just too much, and then also Superion has a lot more health left. And with a fresh deck, Kyle has all of his double blues to flip, more whites to extend into his flips. So, and with that, before this video ends, guys, I would like to say, as usual, I appreciate you guys being here with me. Again, sorry for the audio. I will try to get a new cord as soon as I can for my Blue Snowball to pick up that better quality audio for you guys. And if this isn't that bad, please let me know down in the comments. Or if you didn't like it, also let me know that too. I mean, like I said, there's nothing I can do right now, but I did want to get commentary over this video. And yeah, I got a couple more matches to post with Wreck and Rule as well. So be prepared to catch that. I got 2 with Frenchie and 1 with Brian and 1 with Joe. So good to see them in a more serious, lighting. I don't think I've ever seen them play in a tournament yet either. So it'll just be cool to see them, um, in a tournament setting with their more serious decks. Vaporize on the Bashing Shield, and yep, definitely gonna get there for the KO. And Kyle moves on. There's the handshake, respect from both players. All right, everybody. Again, thanks for being here. Expect round 4 coming up very soon. This is S. Akuma heading out. Peace.